Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast. And today we are going to do a mock draft on the Sleeper platform with 11 other humans, all of them fantasy football people. Looking forward to that, picking fifth in a 12-team PPR league. So let's see what happens with that. And I'll tell you what, we do 10 rounds, and I don't take a quarterback. There you go. So check it out.
Listen up. It's time for the Fantasy Maverick podcast, starring the guy who's going to help you win that fantasy championship, Jimmy Maverick.
Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast coming at you from Santa Fe, New Mexico. And hey, before I begin, I just want to invite you all to please like and subscribe down below. And if you got any questions about what we're going to be doing today, please leave me a message in the comments. We are doing a mock draft today. I mean, we are closing right in on fantasy football season, getting ready to go. I'm very excited about it. We are doing a 12-team mock PPR tonight on Sleeper, and it is a live draft with all fantasy football people, so I'm sure it's going to be a little bit crazy, but we are going to keep on top of it, and we are going to use my app to help us pick players. So if you haven't done so already, I invite you. Okay, look, looks like everybody's in there, so we'll be starting any minute now. We're going to set up my draft list to help us out. So we are going to do a 1-point PPR league. Do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? We'll say no. And then do you want to enter draft mode? Yes. So we got to set 12 team, and I am at draft position 5. So we'll go ahead and we'll enter draft mode. You can see my draft list forming down here. Here's the position filters, and then pops in right here. This represents each round of the draft. Now, below that, you have my recommendations. I'm just going to minimize it so we see the names, and you can see that for the first round, it is recommending Zeke Elliott, Kenyon Drake, and Chris Godwin. I would love if we got Zeke Elliott here. You can also see that Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara are also good choices, but they are long shots. We will see what happens. Now, has the draft started yet? Oh, it has started. So it is up to us. And you can see, oh, look at this. Alvin Kamara is available, although Zeke, why is it so dark? I can't see what the other players picked. I got 9 seconds left. Well, we'll take Alvin Kamara. That was my mistake. Boy, why is this so dark? I can't read what the other people are taking here. Let's see here. Can I brighten it up? That helps a little bit, but it's like there's no contrast. Huh. That's interesting. All right, so it looks like Zeke got taken third anyway, so it doesn't matter. Kamara is a great choice. In my app, he scores 77 VORC points versus Zeke, who scores 79. So essentially, they're equivalent players. But what I love about Kamara, he's a bounce-back year, contract season, value rank is 4th overall, 5-star outlook, high reliability, 10 out of 10 consistency. That's just about as good as you can hope to get. Now, while we're waiting for our second pick to come around, because it's going to take a little while here, we can click on the second round, and we can see here that it is recommending Kenny Golladay, Robert Woods, and Josh Jacobs. I do like the idea of doubling up on running backs. We'll see if Jacobs makes it back to us. Again, in these Instagram leagues, they are always very, very heavy on running backs. But we can see here who else? Eckler and Sanders are long shots. Then we got Jacobs. Chubb and Jones are the other two. Not great choices. They don't score very well on the VORC score, so I don't think I'm going to be doing that. But let's definitely get some of these guys queued up because I need to be able to do that. So if we go here to running back, we can go ahead and, I think Jacobs is already gone. Yeah, Jacobs was already taken. You know what? I'm going to put a couple people on the list. I'm going to put Drake. I'm going to put Mixon. Chubb and Jones I don't really like. We got Gurley, too. I would be interested in Gurley. For wide receivers, let's go ahead and look. There's still a ton of great receivers on the board. We'll go ahead and mark Kenny Golladay for right now. Robert Woods also was recommended, and that I know is a reach. We're reaching for him. We should be able to get him in a later round. But we will see. Now, if you look at my app, if there's a little gun next to their name, that just means it's a long shot. And what long shot means is less than a 50-50 shot they would make it to your pick. Now, we did good. Kamara made it to our pick. He was a long shot, but you will see that most often the long shots don't make it to us. You also have the ability down below, you can restore any player from a prior round onto the list if they happen to be available later than you would expect, and you can see how they would score relative to everyone else. Like, let's say Chris Godwin made it back to us here. We can restore Chris Godwin. You can see he's right at the top of the list, the highest work score in this round. So if he makes it to us, that would be a definite get. Better than someone like Kenny Golladay, who still scores very well, right? But, Godwin offers top 10 value. Golladay is 14th. So let's see here. Where are we at? It's almost back to us right now. You can see that Gurley is still on the board. Golladay and Woods. I'm also going to mark off. Let me just go and did Godwin get taken? I don't think he got taken yet, did he? No, he's still available. Let's go ahead and take him because he might make it to us. That would be a really good choice actually for our second pick. I would very much like that. Okay, so it's back to us, and so we could take Gurley. And if we look at Gurley here, let's see here. Where does he rank? If we go to running backs, and we would need to restore Gurley. I'm betting. Oh, he's not even on the list here yet because he's a 3rd round pick. Gurley scores 40 points on the next round. He's not great for this round. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Godwin. How do I take him? Oh, I hate this app sometimes. No, it took Gurley. Darn it. What did I miss? Oh, I have to hit the plus button. Okay. I'm still not used to Sleeper, man. Sleeper gives me problems. All right, let's go to the 3rd round. It's going to be a quick wraparound. So in the 3rd round, it's recommending Le'Veon Bell, Calvin Ridley, Leonard Fournette. Those are all great choices. Let's get them queued up. So let's see here. We got Fournette. We've got, let's see here. Where is Bell? Not seeing him. Did he get taken already? I guess he did. Who took him super early? And then, we've got Ridley. Right, Ridley's the next one. So wide receivers, we can look at Ridley. Put him on the list. You can see Kenny Golladay is still there, and I like to use the queue when I'm in these sort of drafts because it helps me keep track of. It lets me so someone doesn't slip by me that I really wanted, and if Golladay makes it back to us, I would absolutely take him in the 3rd round. But I really want to go running back. Let's see here. What other running backs are 3rd round here? Bell, Fournette, and Carson, and Gurley, who we already got. So let's also queue up Carson. Now, of course, Carson is still recovering from hip surgery. That is a risk. LaShawn McCoy. Not LaShawn McCoy. Carlos Hyde is now on that team. So it's not as clear-cut a starting position for him as it has been in the past. But I think he's still a solid choice, although I do like Fournette more just for the volume. I mean, Fournette's going to be a volume monster. And Bell got taken middle of the 2nd round. See, that's so early. Wow. That is surprising. He is usually a 3rd round play. So that's very interesting. We can see Connor's on the board. David Johnson's on the board. Now let's see. Now David Johnson in the 3rd round, he's actually more of a 4th round pick. And David Johnson scores only 27 VORK points. What I like to say is the threshold for me to consider a player is I want them to have at least 40 VORK points in the round I select them in. VORK score can go up to 100 points, and it's basically just okay, so it's back to us. So Woods, Fournette, Ridley, Carson still on the board. Let's go ahead. We're going to go running back here. We're going to take Fournette, and hopefully either Woods or Ridley would make it back to us next round. We'll see. Again, it's going so heavy on running backs. We'll see what happens. But anyway, all the VORK score is, it stands for value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. It's these 4 columns right here. And then based on how they do on these 4 columns, they get points. And those points are added up. That gets you your VORK score. So if we look at let's go to the 4th round since we're looking at the 4th round. Who's the top player in the 4th round right now? Cortland Sutton would be a great wide receiver one. I love that option. 69 VORK points. So how does it get 69? Okay, so first of all, his value rank is 31. We'll be at pick 44. So we've got a full round of value by taking Cortland Sutton in the 4th round. Outlook, he scores 3 out of 5 stars. That gives him 10 points. Reliability, high reliability, that gives him 20 points. Well, right? And then consistency, 10 out of 10. Again, another 20 points there. So 69 points total, highest scoring player this round by far. We got Zach Ertz, who's a long shot. DK Metcalf, also someone who I very much like, who has 49 VORK points. We also got Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen. All those guys score over 40. All of them are good choices. But of course, Cortland is my favorite. So let's go ahead and let's queue him up. And let's see here. Cortland, where are you? And of course, if any of those other two, if either Woods or Ridley makes it to us, we would absolutely take them by far, without a doubt. Metcalf, let's queue him. And let's see, who else did I like? We're talking McLaurin and Allen. Let's put them up. McLaurin. Allen. Now, looking on the board also, we've only had 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends taken so far. That's something that I like to keep an eye out on. I usually keep a little worksheet next to me to track those, because that lets me know when I need to take my quarterback and my tight end. And in a 12-team league, I like to be the last person to take a quarterback. 5th round, I'm going to look at what tight ends are available. If Ertz or Waller are still available, I would absolutely take them there. It's what I call the sweet spot for taking a tight end. It's like where I maximize the value of the tight end at the lowest possible draft position that I can take him in. So we'll see what happens there. But you can see that we've got a run on some wide receivers. Ridley is still on the board, but of course, I've got my 4 other choices here. Now, Ridley in the 4th round is a fantastic choice. Let me just restore him. He'll be at the very top of the list with 76 VORK points. Obviously, he's the best option if he makes it to us, but I have no qualms taking Cortland Sutton. You know, lots of people are nervous about Cortland this year. Oh, look, it's back to us. Okay, so he did get taken. So let's go ahead and we'll take Sutton as our wide receiver 1. I like that. But let's jump. Let's jump to the 5th round now. Now, this is where I said I wanted to start looking at tight ends. So if we look at tight ends in the 5th round, Darren Waller, 44 VORK points, which is actually pretty good for a tight end. Tight ends are notoriously overvalued relative to their draft position. But, oh, look, Ertz is still on the board too. So Ertz and Waller, I'm going to queue both those guys up because I'll take one of them with my 5th round pick. And then let's see here, who else is on the board this round? We've got, Jarvis Landry, Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to take a quarterback. Kareem Hunt. Let's put those 2 guys up, Landry and Hunt. So for running backs, there's Hunt. He's right at the top of the list. He's probably not going to make it. And let's see here. Who else were we looking at? Oh, yeah, Landry. Landry, perennially underrated. There he is. We'll queue him up as well. We might be able to get Landry on the next round, actually. But you can see we got a nice long list of players to choose from. And given that there's only been 2 tight ends taken, I think we can wait. Now, look, Kareem Hunt just got taken. Metcalf just got taken. Oh, look at this. All these guys that I wanted got taken. McLaurin is still on the board. Keenan Allen. We got Ertz and Waller and Landry. Ooh, boy, this is kind of a tough position. You know what? I am going to go, since this is PPR, I'm going to go for Ertz since he's available. And, you know, again, he is going to be the number 1 receiver on the Eagles. So I think he's a great choice. We'll see if any of these guys make it back. They may or may not. Let's look at the 6th round here. I wouldn't mind going back to running back here if we can get one. So you can see Landry and Deshaun Watson are both long shots, but you got Matt Ryan. If we wanted to go Matt Ryan this round, I don't think we would need to. Ronald Jones, I like. Michael Gallup. Devin Singletary does not score 40. So let's put Jones and Gallup on the queue. And let's see here. So for running back, Ronald Jones right there. And for wide receiver, we got Gallup. Where are you? Gallup's right near him, Jarvis Landry. We should have a good chance of getting ourselves another good wide receiver here. But I think I might even consider just bypassing a wide receiver on this round, get one more running back if Ronald Jones is available. Anyone else on this round of interest or note? Again, no one else scores over 40. And so there's a lot of poor scoring players here that are just not of interest to me. If we look at the 7th round, who's it recommending on the 7th round? Shepard, Ryan, Crowder. What about running backs? Any running backs? Ronald Jones is a long shot. Okay, yeah, Tariq Cohen, James White. None of these guys score over 40 points. So I think, if Ronald Jones makes it to us, I think we got to take Ronald Jones just to shore up our receiver core, which we already have 3 awesome running backs. To get one more, I think, would be key. And so I do very much like Ronald Jones this year. I know that they did sign LaShawn McCoy, which does kind of hurt his value, but I still think he's going to be the primary running back in that backfield. And I think that offense is going to be explosive. And there's a lot of stuff that's going Jones's way for this season that he can have a really big season. So I very much like him, even with LaShawn McCoy in the mix. And LaShawn McCoy is not really going to be a factor for fantasy. He's not even worth a fantasy pick. So let's see here. Anyone else in the 6th round that we need to queue up? Let's put Ryan on also. Let's just put him on so I can keep an eye on him. He is one of my favorite elite quarterbacks this year. I'm very excited. I don't want to put Brady on. I want Ryan. Remove Brady. Okay. Ryan is one of my favorite high upside quarterbacks this year. I think that team's going to be explosive. Oh, look, we got 3 quarterbacks in a row taken. Oh, so all of a sudden everybody's getting nervous about that. Again, I'm not super nervous, and if I miss on Ryan, I don't mind it. I'm very happy if I get either Stafford or Daniel Jones. I like Daniel Jones as a high upside play. Swift went. Who else? Who's on the running back board right now? So we got Akers. There's Jones. Jones may not make it to us. James White, normally in a normal year, if Tom Brady was there, I'd take him. But just not interested in anybody on the Patriots this year just because, Cam Newton's a low-volume passer. That's what it's going to be. Low-volume passer, and he's going to steal carries away from the running backs. It's just going to be not good for fantasy. I think they'll probably make the playoffs because, it's the Patriots and, Belichick. But, it's very risky. Look, Ronald Jones might make it to us. Oh, it is. He did make it to us. Awesome. And look, Waller's still on the board. Wow, we could have waited until this room to take Waller. I'm going to take Jones. He's our 4th running back, so I like that. We still got a list of, and it's a short turnaround here. Let's look at the 7th round and see. Now, again, it was recommending Shepard and Crowder, so we can definitely add them. Anyone else over 40? See, no one else is over 40 right now on Vork points. So let's put Crowder and Shepard on. And let's see here. Just going to type it in. See, Shepard's at 132 on this list, and so we don't need to worry about him for a while. Crowder's at 116. So again, both those players, I think we got a good chance that Landry or Gallup could make it to us on the next round. I would very much like that if that happens. And getting them in the 7th round would be amazing. Oh, look, Landry just got taken. So we'll see. I'm getting nervous here. Who else is available as far as wide receivers? Oh. Edelman, Cooks, and we can restore them. Are they on here? Let's see. Edelman, Cooks. No, they're still up here, but they don't score very well. That's the problem. Where are they? Cooks, 23 Vork points. And where is Edelman? I don't see him. Is he on the next round? Let's see if he's there. I don't know where he is. All right. Edelman, though, again, it's the same issue as with White. I just don't like I don't like the offense, the Patriots offense for fantasy this year. I don't think it's going to be good. Plus, Edelman's like 34 this year. Man, way past his expiration date. And I don't like to draft wide receivers over age 30 because they're past peak. They don't offer any upside. And that's what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for guys that are still on the upslope of their career. Okay, so look at this. Gallup made it to us. Oh, good. They took Deebo Samuel. So let's go ahead and take Gallup. I think he's a great choice as my 2. And Matt Ryan is still on the board. Who else is on the board? We got Watson, Watson and Breeze are ahead of Ryan right now, so that's pretty good. Let's jump to the 8th round, see what's going on. So for the 8th round, who's it recommending? Stafford, Lindsey, and John Brown. Okay, that's interesting. John Brown scores 40. Okay, Lindsey, Stafford. Let's put them all up. Stafford, Lindsey, and Brown. Well, we'll go all 3. Let's see here. So for quarterbacks, let's look at Stafford. For running backs, let's see here, Lindsey. And for wide receivers, let's look at Brown. I don't often like to take wide receivers off of low-volume pass offenses. Is he already gone? I think he's already gone. Someone already took John Brown this early? That's nuts. All right. Who else is on the board still? Fuller's a high upside, high risk contract year play, man. If you want to go for broke, man, try to get Will Fuller. I did a mock draft where I did a contract year mock draft, took all contract year players, and I actually stacked Deshaun Watson with Will Fuller. That could hit a massive jackpot, or it could just totally bust out this year. But, I love contract year players. Deontay Johnson is still on the board. Oh, no, he just got taken, of course. Marvin Jones, Sanders, CeeDee Lamb, Slayton, Ruggs, Hardman. I love Hardman. He's one of my favorite flyers. Did I put him on there? Yeah, he's on there. Good. Let's see here. We got Judy Crowder. And again, rookies. I'm really just staying away from rookies, man. There's no preseason. Cut back practices and stuff. It's going to seriously hamper these rookies' ability to get up to speed in these offenses. It's going to take them a lot longer to develop. The second half of the year is always the better time of the year to pick up these first-year players. And of course, they're saying this is the best group ever, but don't expect them to be good right off the bat because it is going to be tough for them to, get adjusted to NFL game speed. 2 more quarterbacks came off the board. Evan Engram came off the board. Hayden Hurst. That's a favorite late tight end of mine that I like to get. But I'm super happy with getting Ertz in the 5th round. Did I get him? I got him in the 5th. That's such a bargain, man. That's so great. Looks like we got a bunch of tight ends coming off the board. Someone did take Fuller. So we got Shepard, Crowder, Lindsey, Hardman. Ryan is still on the board. I could grab Ryan, go for a high-end QB1. I'm totally good with that. Let's see. And we are in the 8th round. This is a 12-round draft. There's no kicker, no defense, which is fine because those are always my last 2 picks anyway. But as far as this team goes right now, man, here's what we got. We got Kamara, Gurley, Fournette, and Ronald Jones as our running backs. I love that. Wide receivers are Cortland Sutton and Michael Gallup. Those are both very good, very solid plays. Zach Ertz is our tight end. So really good team so far. I am not going to take Matt Ryan. I think we should maybe get Crowder here. Just because we do need another wide receiver. We only have 2. Crowder's going to be a solid volume play. And, that offense should be better. Should be. Oh, look, and Matt Ryan just got taken. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll take Crowder. And just so we look at Crowder scores 65 work points. Shepard scores 80, but Shepard, I think we could even get him later. Just because on this board, he's much later than this other group. And I would like to get another running back on the next round. So for the 9th round pick, who we got? So for running backs, Lindsey's the highest score, and you got Marlon Mack and Daryl Henderson, both below 40 though. Oof, I just hate that. Really, really tough here. Gibson might be a high upside play, just as a total flyer. When does it start having better rate? There's Kerryon Johnson in the 10th round if he makes it. Boston Scott in the 10th round. Okay, so maybe we don't need to. Maybe we can go 9th round. Again, okay, Lindsey might make it back to us. Mack, Gronkowski. Let's put Mack on the board. We don't need any more tight ends. But running backs, Marlon Mack, where are you? There's Kerryon Johnson. We'll put him on. Did he get taken? Marlon Mack got taken already. All right, that's fine. Not super thrilled with the Colts this year for fantasy. Coleman's still on the board. And Sony Michel, not really interested at all. Let's see here. Who else? Well, Madison's one who of interest to me. Moss is interest to me in standard points, but PPR, he's got no value. Let's see here. And Daryl Henderson. Boston Scott's one that I very much like also. We'll add him. And Daryl Henderson is actually a good PPR play as well. Shoot. Did I get it? I got it. Okay. I didn't realize it was my pick. I don't know why I'm not getting pinged on this. Maybe my volume's off. Oh, I think it is. No, it's on. I'm just not getting any notice. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Now I can see everybody. Ooh, yay. Okay. So we are heading towards the 10th round. So in the 10th round, it's recommending Daniel Jones, Blake Jarwin, Boston Scott. Let's go ahead and get Jones on the board. And Stafford's still there. So we could take Stafford. Let's see here. No, we need quarterbacks. There's Daniel Jones. Love his upside this year. Blake Jarwin, we don't need a tight end. Boston Scott, I already got highlighted. Okay, so Boston Scott's already there. And how many quarterbacks have been taken so far? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 quarterbacks taken. So there's only one other team besides myself that's even taken a quarterback. So I'm betting Stafford will make it back to us. But if he doesn't, I'll totally take Daniel Jones. I got no problem taking Daniel Jones. Look, Henderson came off, Madison came off. So some of my favorites came off here. There's Zach Moss, Gronkowski came off. That was a recommend. I like Gronkowski this year. I like his draft placement, and I think he's going to be a top 12 tight end. And playing with Tom Brady, he's going to be Brady's favorite target. He is, because they've been playing together for 10 years. So, that's all very positive. Shepard's still on the board. Here's Kerryon Johnson, Boston Scott, as far as running backs. So we're in good shape right now. We're looking really good heading into the 10th round. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause until we get within 3 of my pick, and then we'll see where we're at, and we will figure out what we're going to pick. All right, so Carson Wentz just got taken as the 11th quarterback, so I am not going to take a quarterback this round. I will wait till it circles around. I should be able to get Matthew Stafford. I think it's going to be a good shot to get him. Again, everyone else already has their quarterback, and I don't think they're going to load up. Okay, so it's our turn. All right, so anyway, Shepard's still on the board, and I do very much like Shepard. If we look at Shepard on this round, are we looking at all? No, let's look at all. And Shepard, let's restore him. Yeah, he scores 111 VORC points because the massive value. We can't pass up that value. Let's go ahead and take him. He's our 4th wide receiver. And I got to say, I love having Crowder and Shepard as my 3rd and 4th, especially in PPR. Both these guys are great for volume. And we'll see if my gamble pays off and Stafford makes it back to us. We'll take Stafford on the 11th round. And then we'll just finish up. All right, so I don't know what happened here, but apparently they stopped the draft after round 10. So we got to figure, what would I have done with my last 2 picks? Absolutely would have gotten my quarterback, probably Matthew Stafford as our quarterback, and then finally circled around and gotten ourselves one more long shot running back, right? But look at this team. I really like this team, man. This is solid. For PPR, Kamara, Gurley, and Fournette, all of them prolific pass catchers. So that is awesome. That's awesome to have as my top three. My wide receivers of Cortland Sutton and Michael Gallup, I think they are rock solid. Cortland is a high end 2 with low end 1 upside. Gallup, probably a low end 2, high end flex. So maybe a little weak there as far as with my starters. Zach Ertz, top 3 tight end play. Love that. Ronald Jones and Phillip Lindsay, and then probably one more running back on my bench. So very solid backups for my team. And then also for my wide receivers, Jamison Crowder and Sterling Shepard. Love having both of them on my team, as I think they will be right in contention with Michael Gallup for my number 2 wide receiver spot. Getting Matthew Stafford. Stafford was on a tear last year before he got injured. He was on pace for over 5,000 yards, and I think it was like 38 touchdowns. So I love him this year. Love the upside of him. He's on a team which is a good offense and a bad defense, so they'll have to score lots of points. That's what you want in fantasy. That gives you that gives you a lot of success. But that's it, man. So that's where we're at. So again, very happy with this draft. I think it went very well, despite my technical issues. But anyway, there you have it. So if you haven't done so already, please go to my website. Go to fantasyfootballmaverick.com. You can utilize this tool. It is only, you can actually access the app for free. You can access a restricted version of the app, which utilizes the standard points league and a standard points list and a 12-team league draft mode. You can take it through, try it in a draft, and use it like I used it. You're just kind of going back and forth between what's going on in your draft and looking at the tool to see what teams are the best, what players are the best, and then you just add those players onto your queue and you just ride the draft that way. It makes it so easy, and it makes it so easy to find the best players at each and every point in your draft. Again, value, outlook, reliability, consistency. Those are the 4 key things you need to look at when you're making those critical draft day decisions, and my app just makes it super easy to see who the best players are at each and every round of your draft, regardless of how many teams are in your draft and what your draft position is. It's going to give you a customized, broken down draft list to help you and just walk you through, show you all the best players at each and every round. So thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment if you got a question about any of these players or wonder why I didn't take such and such a player. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back again on the weekend to talk a little bit more fantasy. Have a good one, everybody.